Hey everybody, don't be confused. It's not snowing here, it's sunny and not very cold. The wonders of living on the south coast, eh? I've got some errands to run today, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a ride. Let's talk about the Hayabusa first, because that's probably what a lot of you are here for, obviously, it's running in the title. So the pictures are out of the new Hayabusa, and some opinions have been shared that I've seen. Personally, in black and orange, I think it looks awesome. I really like the look of it. Wasn't a big fan of the old Hayabusas. I've ridden one, and yeah, I can see why some people would like it, but it's not really my thing. But I'm a small engined bike sort of person anyway. I haven't seen the brief myself. I don't get the briefs from Suzuki. It seems like they wanted to express that they did try different things out, but then ended up coming back to the same conclusion as before with things, because that's just what people liked. Well, whatever. In my opinion, Suzuki are known for not having very big balls in more recent years. They don't want to push the limits too much. They don't want to, they don't want to knock the status quo with their current users, and I understand that entirely. That is a reasonably smart business decision, but if you want to be noticed, you have to be a little risque at times, Now, okay, yeah, they made the Katana, but the Katana, I loved the thing. It was a great bike to ride, but it is just a GSX S1000 underneath. It's just a bodywork fairing change, pretty much. As I say, not taking anything away from Suzuki for this. And the DR Big, which I've got a video riding the DR 400, the DR Big 800, the original, and the new 2021 DR Big, as it were, from this is like the V-Strom remake. I've got a video riding all three back to back. Very interesting. And I'm basically saying that the DR Big is the new one is a great machine, but I don't entirely believe it's that well connected to its origins. Although it is, of course, because it's a delineage of the line. But in the soul feel, riding that DR 800 single cylinder was like, that's the largest production single cylinder made. It's a different experience. So I understand why they've basically chosen to go with most of the same methods that they did before. How they've managed to get it through Euro 5 without changing that much is quite impressive, although I think the exhaust is, well, there's two of them. They are massive, and that is something that's going to continue to happen for bikes to hit their emissions rules. Because remember, they only have to hit them to get sold in the UK. The owner can then whip those off, quick snap, and they won't have a problem. At the moment, anyway. Maybe that's something we'll see in the future. So the technology of the bike and seeing it get lighter and a little bit less powerful, but lighter to make up for it, I don't have a problem with that. I actually quite like that. As I say, I like the looks of it. I think maybe that is also based on the fact that I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk. I've recently watched Akira for the first time, even though I've seen bits of it before, never saw the whole film. And when I first saw the new Hayabusa, I thought that's almost got that sort of corpo sleek about it, chic even. It's aggressive looking, but it's also quite futuristic looking, and I'm liking that. But I can totally get why other people don't like it, because if it doesn't, that is obviously not what most motorcycles are about. I'm currently in this little lovely mind of thinking of the future and the technologies and the way that things will be, and remembering the things that I thought I would see as a kid in the future, and then felt that I never would. It was like, we thought we'd have this, we thought we'd have that, and we didn't. I'm now starting to feel like we're actually getting some of that stuff, It's very cool. I do not want to get soaked here. So I'm going to choose a line where people can see me, but I also don't have to... there's no one there. Fantastic. Yay. Of course, when I heard the rumours years ago that the new Hayabusa might be turbocharged or supercharged, I liked the idea of that. But then again, I think it would be cool, but it'd be... I thought they were going to have to go down that road to hit the emissions rules, I really did. So yeah, let me know. What would you have liked to have seen in the Hayabusa? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like the looks? Do you not like the looks? I think it's a good improvement, and I'll reserve full judgment until I've got to ride one, which I will do. Presumably, I will do that this year sometime, if they're available and COVID and everything calms itself down. One thing on the Hayabusa, I have to say, I hated the dash of the old one. It looked like the sodding Olympic rings. It was too many circles and needles and things. And yeah, it looks cool, like, wow, what a machine with so many dials, like an old steam engine. Woo. But it was, I'm sure you'll get used to it over time, but I didn't really like the dash on it. The new dash is It's okay, it's okay. I know people are like, oh, it's cool to still have analog dials, but I would have just said, look, just get a nice simple TFT in there like the rest of the range. You know, it would probably be better. Of course, it's not going to hit that original styling point of the big needles and the 220. You remember, you know, that's what everyone would do. When you're a kid, you'd walk up to a bike and you'd look up to the speedo and you'd see 220, and you're like, wow, this thing can do 220 miles an hour. And the guy who owns it's like, yeah, nah, it's more like 160. It's a complete lie. See, that's the thing you lose with digital displays. It doesn't lie to you and make you feel cool. I'm actually watching out for that van, wondering how many lanes he's going to go over. I'm actually going to the bank to pay some checks in that I've had since December, from like my birthday and that. I was hoping that NatWest would work out some way like other banks to digitally pay them in by now, but unfortunately it's not the case, so I'm having to actually go into a bank. Hey, well that's done. Derek, man, you're looking good. You're filthy, you're absolutely filthy, but you're a supermoto, and it's good I've learned to not be too precious with you. I still want to use this bike. Oh, sorry, I'm just using as much throttle as I can. That's what they taught me in training school. Lots of throttle and adjust with the clutch. Thanks, man. Thanks, mate. Errand 1 done. Time for errand 2, which is go to the shops and get some food. And I'm not going to the big one off the island. I'm going back on the island. Thinking back to like the times I had on this bike, like that I did 2,000 miles in 2 weeks locally, just riding around and messing about. And now, you know, and now almost a year's passed and hardly ridden at all. I mean, thank God for that bit in the summer, the bit in between. We did get a bit of riding, otherwise now we're going completely insane by now. Well, more insane, should we say. Come on. Oh yeah, this will come out between episodes, so I can mention this. WeMoto happened to have the parts I needed OEM in stock, and they said, we'll send the OEM ones to correct the issues it had. If you haven't seen the XJ6 build series I'm doing, just had a couple of parts mix-ups. And I found out why, and I've explained it all in that video at the end. If you didn't see that far into it, there is an explanation as to what's going on currently. Where's my snow? I'd love a bit of snow right now. We're getting none of it. I keep seeing articles from the Sun saying -10 in the UK, snow covered everywhere, and I'm like, excuse me, what? I don't think so. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's actually like 7, 8, 9 degrees and raining admittedly. A continuation of the CBT thing. To my understanding, the government has basically said, tough luck, mate, no retake on your CBT. And so people training to do their tests, so I can understand why you're getting frustrated, but if you didn't use it as a form of transport before, because this is your first licence, you can't make the claim which is, you know, I've lost my form of transport. You might not be able to get a job because of it, and that's just as bad, but I'm just saying it's not like you had it one day and lost it the next. Well, I think the retakes, you know, they should have just extended them, but they said no. They said no. Maybe they feel like this is all going to be over soon and they don't want learners riding to ride motorcycles because, you know, we are a danger to ourselves even riding them in the first place. I did see a lot of people saying in the comments to that video about how we should just scrap the 2-year rule on the CBT and just make it a license, and I really don't agree with that, and I could go into it in detail. I actually do have a Patreon exclusive sort of talking about multiple sides of it in the way I was thinking about the video on my Patreon, but I haven't formed a discussion in my head good enough yet to make it into a public video, but I don't think I'm actually going to make that video, basically because I don't think it's going to solve anything. It's not going to inform beyond some basic information. I don't think it will really help anyone. It's just going to probably cause an argument, and although that is exactly how YouTube content should be made, if you want to appease the algorithm, I'm not going to do it. I get some people have differing opinions on it. It's fine. It's not going to change a single thing. Thank you, my dude. I think the one thing I will say about the CBT is this. Realise the CBT is kind of a loophole which exists mainly because you can't have driving lessons like in a car with someone next to you. You can't have someone like on the back of the bike, you know, with a second set of controls a bit wider to yours. So you need to have a basic form of licence to allow people to learn, and also a cheap licence designed to help people get on the road to earn money to be able to pay for a bigger licence. That was kind of like the point of cheap motorcycles. I think it was to help the unemployed get transport without needing the car. I just feel like that was a suicidal birdie. I just kind of feel like my retinas, the more likely scenario is that they'll just do away with the CBT and say A1. You'll just do your A1 then. If you want a bike, do your A1. I mean, maybe they could reduce the age of the A2 to 17 and just say, right, if you want a bike, do the A2. But then you need a CBT to do the A2. And you can't, oh God, greasy, you cannot learn to ride a bigger, more powerful bike on a bigger, more powerful bike. You can, obviously, but it's safer to learn on something smaller, like a 125, the entire point of it. So there's pros and there's cons, and yeah, I think it's a reasonable system at this point in time. Oh man, I'm enjoying this. I'm sorry if you're currently in snow and you're like, what the hell, Spicy? What the hell is this? I live on the south coast, okay? This is what we get. But we don't ever get snow, which is probably just a benefit to most people. And it's doesn't get that cold here. But we do get all the holiday makers in the summer and in lockdown. Oh, you may have heard me mention Discord a few times, which is basically like a chat room forum type thing, which is available to my patrons. We recently have really stepped things up in there. I've got a couple of admins. Thank you, Jess and Luke. You're amazing. It's been a great place for people to communicate. It's far busier than some much, much larger YouTube Discords. I'm in there a lot, quite often voice chat late at night, chatting with a few people, playing games and stuff. So if you're interested in that, there's another benefit on top of helping this channel exist by joining Patreon. If you choose to do that, I appreciate it. If you can't, if you can smash that like button every time you watch, thank you. I won't deny it's been nice to get out for a little ride for the first time in a long while. Can actually go a bit of distance on dryish roads, sunny and not cold. Brings me hope that spring's on its way. It doesn't have the same feeling as usual, you know, that feeling of like, oh man, I can't wait for all the times I'll be riding and I won't be freezing cold, because, well, when are we next going to be riding properly? I reckon by April we'll be down to a tier point that I can get back up and running again and start getting review bikes in and get to do all the things I've been planning to do for so long. That is like the worst place to park on earth. Oh god no. Oh god no, look how filthy he is. Oh, don't look.